Hey, welcome. So today, we're going to do things a little differently. We're not diving into a complex paper or a bunch of data. Instead, we're going to explore a really powerful idea through a story. A kind of modern fairy tale called The House of Seven Flames. And it's all about magic and family. Sure, but really, at its heart, it's about a way of thinking that challenges our ideas about what strength and community really mean.
So, our story begins, like all the best ones do, right? In a land that feels just a little bit beyond our own. Picture a place with houses made of blue stone, glowing runes, a world that's just humming with magic. This really sets the stage, you know? It's not just a location, it's a whole different mindset.
And right in the middle of this land is the House of Seven Flames. It's home to a family of magicians, the Aurelians. Now get this, this is not your typical spooky wizard's tower, not at all. It's a place that's built around a very unique and very powerful philosophy. And this slide right here, this is the whole ballgame. This is the core idea that powers our entire story. See, while most mages back then were all about hoarding their power, locking it away, the Aurelians saw it completely differently. To them, magic wasn't something to be guarded. It was a force that actually grew stronger the more you shared it with others. So let's meet the family. The head is Eldric. He's the wise patriarch, a master of time itself. I mean, just imagine being able to pause a moment just to think or rewind a mistake. His power is so subtle, so precise, it really speaks to a deep, deep understanding of how the world works. And right beside him is Maelys, a mage of life and healing. Her magic is all about restoring things, nurturing them. They say flowers literally bloom where she walks. So where Eldric is managing the grand clockwork of the universe, Maelys is tending to the living, beating heart inside of it. You see, they're a perfect balance. And this whole philosophy, this idea of balance and shared strength, well, it was passed down to their 3 children, and each one of them inherited a totally unique piece of the family's magical legacy.
First up, you've got Lorien, the eldest. His magic is fire, but it's this gentle, protective flame, a power for warmth and light, not for destruction. And what's so fascinating about him is his personality. He's thoughtful, cautious, almost scared of the very power he holds. That creates such an interesting internal conflict, right?
Then there's Elira, the middle child, and she is the complete opposite of her brother, absolutely fearless, adventurous, and free. Her magic is the wind and sound, things you can't even hold. She's all about exploration and just loving the world on a massive scale, racing the clouds just for the fun of it. And finally, there's little Tomas. He's the youngest, and his magic, well, it's a total unknown. This is such a classic storytelling move, right? The hidden potential. You see these little hints of it, though. Shadows seem to listen to him, doors just open for him. There's this quiet power there, just waiting to be figured out.
And just as we're getting comfortable with this peaceful family, everything changes. The sky cracks open. A moment of cosmic violence just shatters the calm. And this is the event that's going to test everything the Aurelians believe in.
Eldric, with his incredible wisdom of time, he instantly gets how serious this is. His words are just heavy with meaning. This isn't just some random meteor shower. It's the return of something ancient and something very, very dangerous. You can tell the threat isn't just physical. It's a challenge to the magic of their world itself. And just watch how they respond, not with panic, but with purpose. This is their philosophy in action, right here. Each one of them immediately uses their unique skill. Lorien gives them light, Elira scouts ahead, Maelys heals the world around them, Eldric protects them, and Tomas, he just listens. He connects with the pain of the world itself.
So their journey leads them straight to the source of the darkness, this glowing crater deep in the forest. And this is where they're going to face not just a monster, but an idea that is the polar opposite of their own.
And it turns out the fallen star, it's a prison. And inside is Vorakel, an ancient mage who is locked away for the worst magical crime you can imagine, trying to hoard all the magic for himself, to steal it and bind it to his will alone. He's basically the living embodiment of those lonely mages and towers the Aurelians rejected. This slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? It perfectly shows the core conflict. This isn't just a good versus evil fight. It's a battle of philosophies. On one side, you have Vorakel, who believes power comes from dominance, from hoarding. And on the other, you have the Aurelians, who believe strength comes from community and from sharing. So faced with Vorakel's shadows, the family doesn't attack. They defend,
They combine their powers. Lorien uses the fire he was afraid of to create a safe circle. Alira's wind becomes a song of hope. Mihalis heals the land right under their feet. Eldrick literally stops fear from moving. And then Thomas steps forward.
And here it is, the big reveal we've all been waiting for. Tomas's mysterious magic. It isn't fire or wind, it's connection. It's unity, the very thing their family is all about. He doesn't fight the broken magic, he tries to heal it, to bring it back together. His power is the ultimate expression of the entire Aurelian philosophy. And when he's faced with this pure act of unity, Voracal doesn't just lose, he completely breaks. And listen to this detail. His final scream isn't one of anger, it's sorrow. It kind of suggests that maybe his whole lust for power came from a place of just deep, profound loneliness. And that makes his defeat so much more meaningful. So, with the darkness gone, a new dawn breaks, both literally and figuratively. The fight is over, and now the healing begins, and they start to understand the lesson they just learned.
The world comes back into balance. You can just picture it, right? The land recovers, the sky mends itself, and magic, now that it's free from the threat of being hoarded, it flows freely through the world again, exactly like the Aurelians always believed it should. And here's the ultimate takeaway. The family's home, their whole legacy, it shone brighter than ever after this whole ordeal. Not because they learned some powerful new spell, but because they proved their core belief was true. They faced the darkest thing imaginable, not with more force, but with more connection. They chose love over fear.
So, this story, yeah, it's a fairy tale, but it's really an explainer for a pretty profound idea. In a world that so often rewards individual competition, it asks us to think about a different source of power. It leaves us with a question, really. What if the strongest force we have, the truest magic of all, isn't what we can do alone, but what we can build together?